Okay, now let's get right back into the main series quests. Futures written. I stumbled over that word.
Right. Let's return to the Rising Stones.
What's going on? This guy seems to be
Admiral,
in a
something
hurry.
strange is afoot at the floating city.
Breathe, man. What is it?
I think it's best you see for yourself.
What's going on?
Please, come with me.
Is it more bad stuff happening after good things happen? That's typically how things go down. What's going on? Everyone seems to be surprised, including me.
What in the world is that?
What the fuck is that?
A tower.
Yeah, it's a
You can
tower
see it too, then?
from the looks of it.
I feared I was losing my wits. One moment I was patrolling as usual, and the next it was just there.
Maybe we're all going insane.
Yes?
Are more of these
This is she. I am.
Are more of these terrors
Aye.
popping up everywhere?
I'm looking at it. What? Understood. Send the Elder Seed Seer my regards.
Wait, what's going on with the Elder Seed Seer?
The communications officer. It seems
Oh,
this
there's
isn't
more than
the
one.
only tower. They've sprung up all across Eorzea.
Is there one in the Azim Steppe? I'd like to go back there.
Nothing more is known. Only that they appear to be of Garlean construction.
The question
Our
is how they
allies
got
on
there.
the Alamegan front are on highest alert.
I assume that Assi and Fan Daniel?
Forgive my directness, but would
Such
you
a weird
join them?
name.
They may well need the help.
Of course, Admiral. We shall make all haste.
My thanks. I will return to Limsa to weigh our response. Look for Commander Hext when you arrive in Alamigo, and may the Navigator speed you on your way.
Are we going to Alamigo now? Seems to be giving off some sort of signal. I assume that's what that circular stuff coming off of it looks like. I mean. What the? This is a setting of mine I have. I want to change it. System. Oh well, I'll change that later. I'll figure it out later. I don't want to waste my time. Going to the Alamegan Quarter. Luckily there's an aetheryte crystal there. What are you looking at? Alright, you're not from around here. Can't imagine what call you'd have to chat with me, but by all means, if you've got something to ask away. What kind of place is this? What do you do here? I don't think she's looking at anything. Elise.
Thank you for coming so soon. I'll send for
It's
Commander
pretty easy to
Aldin
do
at
with
once,
the
and we can
crystals.
decide what to do about these infernal towers.
Roger preserved!
What the hell is that? Some sort of Bahamut-looking dragon?
It can't be.
The palace! After them!
Or was that Fandaniel? He wasn't wearing his white robe. Maybe it's, one of the Sundered Ascians? What's Rabon? Raubon.
You're here, good.
Seems like Fandaniel. Yep, that's him.
Well, well, well! To be received by such an illustrious cast! Why? Even the hero of the piece is here! I feel quite starstruck.
Of the piece?
Is that Asahi?
His body, more like. You don't fool us.
We've dealt with enough Ascians to know what's going
You
on.
saw straight through it! Anyone would think you dealt with Ascians before. Permit me to introduce myself. I am Fandaniel, and may I say what a pleasure it is to finally make your acquaintance.
What do you want?
My, straight to business is it? Suit yourself.
You better be as compelling as
It is my
Elidibus and
intention
Emmett.
to recreate the final days. To which end I have distributed a collection of rather ingenious devices, or towers, which will, in time, give rise to the grandest of spectacles.
So he just wants to see the world burn?
The final days? But it was the Ascians who labored to prevent them.
You know, all the Ascians
You're quite
now
right.
seem to
Though I would
want to
expect
prevent
no
it.
less from one responsible for eliminating my unsundered colleagues. Honestly, the three of them were obsessed with restoring the one true world. As a sovereign individual, however, I never had much interest in such things. I mean, why bother when you're just another sundered minion? Admittedly, Elidibus was not convinced by that argument, but thanks to you, I'm finally free of his incessant nagging. Free to use my powers as I see fit, to fulfill my heart's desire.
I do like him as a
And my
character, but will he be a
heart's
compelling
desire
villain?
Is to lay this half-broken world to waste, leaving nary a fleck of dust behind.
What? Why would you want such a thing?
Because I want wretched creatures who ask such meaningless questions to die! You! And you! And you! I want you all to die! And I want to die too! Oh, yes! I want to die and take everyone with me in a paroxysm of pain and suffering!
Interesting character motivation.
I'm different, you see. From the ancients who clung to dear life, and from you. So don't bother trying to reason with me. You will find I have no reason, or creed, or any such tripe.
Maybe we shouldn't have
I
killed
just want to
Emmett
destroy
and
the world.
Elidibus.
But please do resist with all your might.
We took this guy
It
off
will
of his
add to
leash.
my enjoyment. Now then, Ladies and gentlemen, keep your eyes peeled, for the curtains have risen on the spectacle to end all spectacles. We, the Telophoroi, shall be your performers and this very
Telophoroi?
star our stage.
He left the whole Bahamut-looking dragon here. Like some sort of twisted Bahamut.
Ah, but I nearly forgot. I have a message for you. My esteemed patron, Lord Xenos, eagerly awaits you at the heart of the chaos. While I wish only to destroy the world, he exists solely to relive a certain, transcendent moment with you. And it is for that reason he would reduce all to ash.
Xenos wants to see the world burn just to fight me.
Pray see to it his dreams do not go unfulfilled. For if you should disappoint him, my trusty companion here, whom I've dubbed Lunar Bahamut,
Lunar
will
Bahamut.
burn your cities and everyone in them.
That's definitely a big threat.
Everyone out! My men will tend to the blaze.
It sounds like that's the end of that cinematic. What does everyone have to say? Rabon? Our scouts report that the Ascian and his dragon have left Girabanya. It seems this was purely a social visit. Alphino? Though our objectives were different, I could understand why Elidibus and his fellows acted as they did, but Fandaniel? It will take me some time to make sense of it all, if indeed there is any sense to be found. Yeah, Fandaniel's a completely different beast. Are you alright, Dava? The rest of us are fine if a little singed. That dragon lit us off lightly, honestly. Honestly, though, only a madman would choose the name Lunar Bahamut, which just about sums up Fandaniel, I suppose. Graha, how about you? What part could these towers feasibly play into Telphori's plans, do you think? I for one am at a loss. For now, we should bear word of these developments to the others. I only hope Thancred and Urianger are safe. Urianger. Please? Thank goodness everyone's safe. We've managed to put out the fire, though not quickly enough to save the garden. Rawan, can I leave it to you to send word to the Alliance? I'm going to take a unit and investigate the tower. We need to find out what it's for. We'll go with you. No, you won't. You'll rest from what Merlwib tells me. You're due some time off duty. If we learn anything about the tower, we'll be sure to share it with you. Until then, I want you to rest. Very well, but if you need our help, don't hesitate. And take care, both of you. Am I going to do anything? Am I going to investigate? I want to investigate. I guess I'm not. I'm going to the Rising Stones. Gotta love the teleport. Taking a bit to load. Hey, Stola, I assume you've been brought up to date? It would seem you have had quite an eventful time in my absence, but I am fully restored now and ready for more. Good. Kryl, what do you want? Ah, you're back too. Good. We've received reports from the Alliance. Since we are all here, perhaps those who bore witness to the events in Alamigo could treat the rest of us to a first-hand account. Big dragon, Ascian, we almost got killed. That's what happened. And an Ascian that wants to see the world burn and die. No sooner do we overcome one problem than another appears. It would all seem tediously predictable, but for the endless variety of foes, this Fandaniel sounds even more unhinged than his patron. Unhinged perhaps, but no fool. For all his pantomime theatrics, he gave away little about his plot. We know only that he intends to recreate the final days, and that the towers will somehow facilitate this. He also called his dragon Lunar Bahamut. Let's not forget that little detail. I assume at some point we're gonna have to fight it. And the creature did resemble descriptions I've seen of the Elder Primal. That may be, but the fact that it answered to Fandaniel would suggest they are not one and the same entity. I think it is more probable that it is some manner of simulacrum born of Ascian magics. Whatever it is, for now, we can but work closely with the Alliance and remain vigilant. I believe that concludes our news. What of yours, Ishtola? I have been to see the Sultana. Knowing how quick the immortal flames are to dispose of their tempered, I judged it best to provide them with the cure first. Makes sense. As soon as I had sufficiently recovered, I traveled to Ul'dah and delivered the porksies to Her Grace, along with detailed instructions on their use. Yet my visit chanced to coincide with the arrival of some troubling tidings. The immortal flames had been on the cusp of agreeing to a truce with the Almalja, when negotiations abruptly collapsed. The Almalja claimed that a number of their kind have been abducted, and that men are responsible. I guess it's some more sundered Ascians posing as mortals. Naught is known of the perpetrators as yet, but as the immortal flames went about investigating the abductions, they came upon one of Fandaniel's towers. On the subject of the towers, you may be interested to learn that they are not an exclusively Eorzean phenomena. According to the Alliance, they have been sighted as far afield as Zangzia. Then it would seem more reasonable to assume that they are everywhere. We simply have not found them. I want to know if there's one in the Azim Steppe. I want to go back. I want to see my character's tribe again. Well, as you said yourself, we can do little for now, save remain vigilant. And since we are dealing with a dragon, ostensibly at least, I believe it would behoove us to enlist the aid of an authority on such foes. Estinian. Now just a moment. If he could be persuaded to lend us his lance, I would be the first to welcome it, but the truth is, we struggle even to find him. Let me and Kryl worry about that. We'll sniff him out no matter where he's hiding. If indeed he is hiding, we have ways of locating him, regardless. So if there are no objections, we shall depart at once. But rather than sitting around, I think we might go to each of the city-states and educate them in the use of the porksies. They would doubtless appreciate it, but might you consider taking a moment to rest before leaving? You would be fresher for the task ahead. Well, my friend, our moment of triumph did not last long. I'm not surprised. 'Twas ever the way, the world often needs saving. And save it we shall. I, for one, do not intend to allow a nihilistic madman to take us all to the grave with him, not when the future holds such promise. Nay, I will do all in my power to protect those who I hold dear, just as you have always done. Good. And now that quest's done. Oh, meanwhile, somewhere in the locks. Where's the locks again? Oh, here. Oh yeah, Singira Banya. I think I'm
Scouts should have been
remembering
back by
correct.
now. I'm gonna go and find them.
What's going on? Did only one make it back?
Oh, thank goodness for that.
Oh no. Like brainwashed.
Glory be.
Glory be to Garlemald!
Please tell me Lee survived that. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace. So what happened to that guy seemed to be similar to tempering, I think? But would we be able to cure it? There's another question.
The piles have been driven as planned, and the first of the beasts has roared to life.
First of the
Moreover,
beast.
I am pleased to report that preparations are well underway for the rest. Ere long, chaos shall reign over all the land, as befits the final days.
Call it what you will, so long as my friend returns to me, fangs bared and claws sharpened. I care not.
Of course, my lord. By strange coincidence, your dear friend chanced to be present when I made my declaration. I took the liberty of informing her that you await her coming, though I confess, I may have singed her a little in the process.
Don't egg him on.
And why do you tell me this? Are you in such a hurry to die?
Yeah, Xenos wants to be the one to kill
My
me.
apologies. I must guard my tongue lest it be the end of me. Though, there is something to be said for such a glorious death. Better to fall to one who has it all than falter before an inferior. Huh. I shall keep it in mind as a contingency. For now, however, I shall proceed with the plan. My lord.
I must find myself a new weapon. One worthy of our long-awaited reunion.
He needs to be ready for our fight to the death date. Fight to the death date. Gotta get himself a new weapon. Okay. Alice, unto the breach. Good news, Thancred and Urianger have finished their tour of Garlemald and are on their way back even as we speak. And we still haven't heard anything on the towers from the Alliance. I'm hoping they might be able to shed some light on things. They're due to arrive any moment now, so let's see what they have to say, eh? Ah, a welcoming party. You needn't have gone to the trouble. From what I hear, you've been more than busy enough as it is. Honestly, you might have waited for me to return before discovering a cure for tempering. As it is, I can't even pretend to have been involved. Well, if it's any consolation, I myself was a little more than a spectator. The lion's share of the credit must go to Elisée, Graha, and Dava. But I believe I speak for the rest of us when I say we are proud to have rendered what little assistance we could. As you will also have heard, though, it hasn't all been tales of triumph. Just as we were taking a step towards finally addressing the primal threat, a pile of fresh problems landed on our lap. Anyway, it's good to have you back, though I can't help noticing that we are one Urianger short of a scouting party. You haven't lost him, have you? Oh, I couldn't lose him if I tried, and I did try, repeatedly, but no, he decided to linger in Alamigo to apprise Raubon and the others of how the land lies in Garlemald. And mayhap he would do the same for us. Indeed, it was just as Lee said, worse. In fact, devastation as far as the eye could see. Nerva and Urva and the Third, however, were notable by their absence. Might they have met their end at the hands of Xenos and Fandaniel? Perhaps they simply lost the will to fight. You see, the capital has been plunged into a deathly silence, with one exception, the Imperial Palace. It was a busy place before the war, but it has grown busier still, with throngs of soldiers and civilians working there day and night to rebuild, or rather transform it. Transform it? Into what? That is a difficult question to answer. The construction is vast and unsettling to behold, like something from a nightmare. According to Urianger, certain aspects of its design were clearly devised with the manipulation of ether in mind, magitech in other words. Yet, as unnerving as said edifice was, it was nothing next to the sight of its builders. They swarmed the place like so many insects, working with nary a word exchange between them. No one overseeing construction, no one barking orders. It was as if they were possessed or tempered. We wanted to investigate more closely, but given our suspicions, it seemed wiser not to take the risk. If Fandaniel could bind Bahamut to his will, might he have done the same to the people of Garlemald? Could be. Whatever the truth may be, this information is certain to prove valuable. You have our thanks. Well, be sure to save some for Urianger. Which reminds me, I have a message from Alamigo. Raubon is hosting a meeting to discuss the latest findings on the towers, and he requested our presence. Then why not leave that to us? You must be weary from your mission. No, I'm fine. Those towers have been on my mind since I first spied one on the way back, and I'm keen to get to the bottom of this. In that case, I shall stay and begin looking into another matter. As I promised Kryl, we need not all attend. Aw, Ishtola, but I want you to come. I want you to come with us. Very well, I suggest the rest of us make our way to Alamigo forthwith. The sooner we leave, the more time we will have to speak with Urianger before the meeting. We're going back to the Alamegan quarter. Hey, Ishtala, what do you have to say? If you are curious to know what I will be doing in your absence, let us speak of it another time. At present, Krylon, I have no more than a hypothesis. Okay. My friends, much and more have I heard of your travails in our absence. Heartened am I to see you all hale and whole. As are we to see you safely returned from your mission, Urianger. I trust Thancred made you feel welcome? Well, well, if it isn't Alphino and his merry band. It's this guy. Forgot his name. Arenvald, that's his name. Whatever are you doing here? When we spoke via Link Pearl, you told me you'd be away on a mission. And who's to say this isn't part of it? But enough about that. It's good to see you looking so similar. I thought you'd have grown a bit taller after the whole year in another world, but apparently not. Well, I am sorry to disappoint you. While my soul may be a year older, my body has hardly aged, as you are well aware. And may I remind you that we Eladin are known to be late bloomers. Especially in terms of our height. Mark my word, the day will come when even a great Aurochs such as yourself will crane your neck to meet my eye. It was not until my 20th summer that I myself outgrew my boyish proportions, though Moonbreeder towered over me nonetheless. Arnvald brings out the best in Alphino, doesn't he? They both seem so at ease in each other's company, it's almost endearing. So, what exactly brings you here? Oh, Fordola mostly. We need to go over a few things before we set out. Fordola. I think I remember her. What's she up to? Is she still in jail? Set out. Wait, what does this have something to do with the towers? What gave you that impression? Actually, tell me later. You've got a meeting to go to. I'll see you afterwards, alright? If Fordola is going with him, that must mean... My apologies. As Arenvald rightly pointed out, we have a meeting to attend. Let us be about it.
Ere we begin, I would like to offer my gratitude to Masters Thancred and Urianger. Tis no small feat to infiltrate the Imperial capital and live to tell the tale, much less in times of civil war. Thanks to them, we may plot our course in full knowledge of how the winds blow in Garlemald.
Full glad are we to have been of service. But verily, such dangers as we did encounter pale into insignificance next to those faced by our comrades. An Ascian, armed with the might of Bahamut, bent on bringing about the final days.
Theatrics. He sought only to make a show of the power at the Telophoroid's disposal. But since then we have seen no sign of this Fandaniel or his worm. And while we've done what we can to bolster our defenses, there's no telling where he might strike next.
And you could bring more equally powerful creatures too.
Whenever and wherever it may be, we must use the intervening time to learn more of our enemy. 'Twas with this in mind that we dispatched scouts to investigate the towers.
Please Sin get
Our
hurt.
advance party took longer than expected to return. And when they did, they tried to kill us. Luckily, I'd seen that sort of thing before, and we were able to restrain them before they did any harm. Then it was just a matter of letting the Porksies do their work.
So did it work?
Are you saying they were tempted?
Sounds like it.
Once they'd come back to their senses, they told us everything they could. It seems that just as they were getting close to the tower, they heard an ear-splitting roar. And that was the last thing they remembered.
It's a good thing Thancred and Urianger didn't get too close.
But what worries me most is what they were saying right before they attacked. Glory be to Garlemald.
The Tempered have heretofore ever been thralls to primal entities. Yet these hapless souls were compelled to accept a nation as the object of their devotion. This calleth into question all that we know of the condition.
Does.
Would that the unsettling news ended there. Alas, there is more. Following the earlier reports of missing Amalja, we have learnt that other beast tribes have suffered similar losses. And we now have reason to believe that the abductions are connected to the appearance of the towers. Our scouts sighted black-garbed figures leading shackled Ixal in the direction of the tower in Dravania. The
More
Temple Knights
Ascians?
were able to intercept them before they could reach their destination, liberating the Ixal and apprehending their captors, each of whom was found to be equipped with Garlean arms and armor.
So the Empire is the common thread.
With the support of Xenos, it seems likely that Fandaniel has rallied a faction of the splintered Garlean army to the banner of the Telophoroi.
Lord Hien reached the same conclusion when I shared our findings with Doma. The plan had been to march on Garlemald from the east and west in order to force a peace treaty. But the situation has changed. Dealing with the threat of the towers must come first.
I want to see Bazim step again. Let us go back there.
Given the nature of the enemy and the proven risk of tempering, I could think of few suitable candidates to aid in this task. But I am confident in my choice.
What?
Definitely doesn't look like she's in jail anymore.
Resistant to primal influence as they are, they can investigate the towers without fear of being turned.
We are glad to put our gifts to use, Commander.
Gifted or not, going behind enemy lines remains a perilous undertaking. But we must know more if we're to strike back at our foe. I'm counting on you.
If it would give us the upper hand, I'd do it 100 times over. We won't let you down.
That concludes the briefing. You two, make ready and join your escort.
Are you certain about this, Arenvold?
Sounds risky.
I am.
What if this is
Let's talk outside.
similar to tempering but different? What if they can be affected? There we go. Now that it's out in the open, I don't have to keep it under my proverbial hat anymore.
So you know, I've already gone through all the formalities at the Rising Stones. Made sure to inform Jamolver and Vmar at Ralga's Reach as well.
Arenvold, I admire your enthusiasm, but this is far more dangerous than anything you have done before.
Very dangerous.
I know the risks. And I also know what's in store if we don't stop Fandaniel from carrying out his plan. With this power of mine, I can make a difference. If I stood idly by, I would regret it for the rest of my life.
You gonna say anything? Fudala, gonna say anything?
Is this what you want?
What are you asking me for? It's not like I have any say in the matter.
Don't pretend. We both know Commander Aldin gave you a chance to refuse. And you didn't.
Yeah, she's pretending not to want to help.
So the Empire's finished, is it? But that's what they're all saying. That the great and glorious Garlemald slit its own throat.
Yep, just like Xenos.
And now, from out of its twitching carcass crawls the Telophoroi with bloody Xenos at its head! I fought for Garlemald. Killed for Garlemald. What was I part of? I need to know. Whatever it is, I need to know.
Understandable.
Very well. If your hearts are set on this, I shall not stand in your way.
If you've finished with your touching display of camaraderie, I have a question. Which tower are you planning to investigate, exactly?
Well, the one in Girabani is said to be tightly guarded. It's patrol after patrol out there, apparently. We'd be spotted before we got anywhere near it. Which is why we've set our sights on the one in Pagalthan instead.
Who's that?
There shouldn't be anything like as many Imperials to worry about down there.
Even so, I doubt the local Amalja will look kindly on it if they catch you sneaking around in their